guys, I'm Michael.
And I'm Naho.
And this is English
at
Home is Fun. Hey, you've got some Halloweenish things in the background there. Are you having a Halloween party at your house?
Those are actually the candy for my mom's English class. She's doing an English class, and she's going to be handing out her students some little Halloween treats.
Oh, that's cool.
Sadly, we don't have it, the traditional Halloween trick-or-treat.
Ah, okay.
And we don't normally do that.
You know, when I was a kid and I first heard about Halloween, I went absolutely crazy. Because I said, wait a second.
You can knock on doors and then you get a treat.
All I got to do is wear this thing and then I go around and people will give me... They're giving what to who? I was really, really excited.
In Japan, there is something kind of like Halloween, but not exactly like Halloween.
Oh, yeah?
Back in the very, very, very old episode, I'm sure we talked about the Otsukimi.
Otsukimi, which is like look at the moon day.
The look at the moon day.
Yeah.
In that day, the traditional thing was that, of course, the moon festival is way, it's already passed. So we're not going to talk about that today. So yeah, the Otsukimi festival, the traditional thing was that kids can eat as much things that their parents are growing.
In the old days when most people were farmers, like on that day you could eat as much of whatever your mom and dad were growing? Wow, that's interesting.
And by the way,
yeah,
that is actually going from now. I mean, some places, they actually have baskets of treats. And one person, one candy, that's what it says.
Oh, 1 for 1, eh?
I saw kids just like 4 boys just chilling, playing at a nearby park, and then just spotted that basket. And then guess what they did?
I'm going to guess they took more than 1 each.
Indeed, they didn't.
Oh.
They just take 1 and then they just,
Wow. Nice kids. Excellent.
And well, that was what I saw when I was going to somewhere. When I came back, I saw that basket again. And unfortunately, there was another group of kids. And they only took 1. So it's kind of like a very weird Japanese culture, I guess.
I don't know if I would say that's weird. I think that's awesome. Like if the sign says 1 treat per person and people follow that sign, I think that's a great thing. Because if you put that kind of a candy box, treat box in front of a house in New York, which sometimes people do, like they're not home, so they leave the big basket of candy outside. They say, please take 1. You can be sure that at least 1 kid is going to take a handful. Or more than a handful. So that's an interesting culture point there in Japan. Then what do you guys do on Halloween? Like I see, you have some decorations, and you said your mom is going to give out some treats to her students. But like you're a student, you're in elementary school. Like what do you guys do? Do you wear a costume? Do you have a costume party in the school, or what goes on there?
No, we don't do much.
Okay.
Sadly, we don't do much. I mean, it's not a Japanese festival, so we don't celebrate that much, I guess. I mean, well, yeah. Okay. It's just like some community centers are just handing out really small bags of treats or something like that. Oh yeah, can't miss out. Japan. Most teenagers, they go to Halloween parties.
In a costume?
Kind of depends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, where do they have those parties? In someone's house or like
in someone's house?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
In one of the friend's house.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Okay, so what I want to talk about today is not about this. I'm sorry to take so much time.
Oh
On
my
this.
God.
Okay,
Yes.
so just want to talk about more New York memories.
Oh,
that
cool.
Last time I talked about 6 foods I had in New York.
Right. And
Which-
you made me so hungry talking about all that food.
I made myself go hungry,
Yeah.
actually.
Absolutely.
Since I recorded that in at nighttime.
Oh my God.
I had an automatic trip to the kitchen.
Aha. When you go for a midnight snack like that, like, what's usually on the menu? Whatever's there, or you just have a target?
Whatever's there.
Gotcha.
I don't really care about health. I don't care about my beauty or
Gotcha.
whatever. I don't care about my skin. I don't care about my weight or how fat I am.
So as long as there's good chips or snacks.
Yeah, so this time I decided to not talk about foods.
Okay.
Today I'm going to be talking about not the most standard places to go in New York, but places that I really liked.
Okay, so these are places maybe we say off the beaten track.
Off the beaten track.
Yeah, it
Ooh,
means
thanks.
Off the beaten track means where people don't usually go, where tourists don't usually go.
Yeah. And what you say beaten track, you point out somewhere like Times Square.
Right, but actually we don't say we went to the beaten track. We just say we went off the beaten track.
Oh.
So that's an interesting idiom, yeah.
Just like we don't say that it is my cup of tea, but we do say that it's not my cup of tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, it's my cup of coffee. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever.
So number 3.
Number 3.
The Flatiron Building. Okay. Maybe this was out of the concept here. This wasn't somewhere tourists don't usually go. This is somewhere tourists usually go.
Right.
But anyway, I thought it was pretty nice, so I just put it here. And my, how narrow that thing was.
You know, it's so narrow that when it was built, now it was built, I want to say 1903, but I'm not Google, I could be wrong, but it was built in the early 1900s. And for the brief moment it was being built, it was the tallest building. A lot of buildings were being built at the same time, but for one moment in its construction, it was the tallest building. But it's so narrow that people were afraid to walk near it because they thought that the wind could blow it over. It was so narrow. That's how people in other centuries had a concept of technology. Oh, look at that, Genevieve. That building is quite narrow. Oh my gosh, if there is a strong wind, maybe we shall die. Let us not go near that building. Hey, that's my impersonation of how people from the early 20th century talked. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love that building. That building is so cool.
Cool, yeah.
But I can't imagine having an office there because it must be weird to have this little narrow corner in your office.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard to put the furniture there, I guess.
That's true. That's true. I need a piece of furniture that looks like a triangle. Do you have those?
Okay, so number 2.
Number 2
is MoMA.
MoMA.
Do you know Modern Art Museum?
Yeah, of course. That's pretty famous.
Modern art was something that I actually used to do.
Oh, really?
I mean, there was this place in the dark where there is this very small light. And then right in front of it, there's a big Swarovski.
The Swarovski crystal?
The Swarovski crystal.
Uh-huh.
And it's inflecting the light.
Okay, so it's reflecting the light.
And it was very, very nice.
Oh, wow.
But I used to do that when I was little.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to do it when it was daytime. It was so pointless doing it in the daytime.
Wait. You were doing modern art when you were little?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Picasso? I knew you looked familiar.
Well, yeah, I don't know much, but yeah, well, it's modern art to people, right?
That's right.
But to me, it was kind of like magic. I mean, if somebody was doing that in the dark,
Mm-hmm.
in a human-made light, it would make sense, but I didn't actually realize how lights work when I was that age.
Right.
So,
But you were just playing around and you got it.
I was just playing outside in the garden, the sun was showing, and then I didn't know one bit about the sunlight.
Right, you weren't a science major in those days.
I didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just playing around, and my Swallowhusky started making beautiful crystals all around my house.
Nice.
And I thought that was a magical crystal.
Cool.
I said, "Mom, it's a magical crystal!" And my mom was like, "Huh?"
How old were you around that time?
It's about like, I don't know, 4 or 5.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm such a no-brainer. I don't even know when my memories are sitting in.
That's all right.
Whatever.
It
Next,
was in those days. Okay.
number 1,
Uh-huh.
Union Square.
Union Square. So what did you guys do there? Like what made that so special?
Oh yeah, there was nothing like a band or some tourist attraction or anything, but yeah, the food they sell here were nothing that we can actually see here in Japan.
Mhm.
And like, it was very, very interesting when I found Japanese Fuji apples out in New York.
Oh wow.
So we bought like 4, maybe 3 apples.
3 apples.
And like 4 peaches.
You guys ate your way through New York City. That's awesome.
Yeah. So next up,
Uh-huh.
funny stuff in New York City.
Funny stuff. Okay, cool.
Okay, 1. Something that Japanese will never see in their home country,
Mhm.
but nothing that you'll see in Japan, but there is a key to the bathroom. I mean, there is a code,
Right.
a button code for the bathroom, and it always changes every day.
Right. In
It
public bathrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird, but that is the normal thing in NYC, so
Right.
I thought that it was a bit interesting.
Gotcha.
This is actually our memory,
Mhm.
but it's nothing like other people will ever experience. I don't think other people will ever experience something like this. We were in the Staten Island dock,
Uh-huh.
the ferry dock.
Right. For the Staten Island ferry.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't in Staten Island.
You were on the Manhattan side at the Staten Island ferry dock.
It was very, very nice. We were actually trying to take a train to go uptown.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, we went straight east.
Where did you end up in Brooklyn?
Actually, we went way past Brooklyn.
Oh,
We went way past Dumbo.
on the train?
Yeah, somehow we got stuck in a place called Franklin Avenue.
Right.
We were supposed to go this way,
Right.
but somehow we managed to go this way.
Right. That happens in New York sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, it's so weird. Why isn't our stop coming?
Right.
And then Mom said, let's check where are we now on Google. And then we're just way past Brooklyn. Where are we?
Yeah, you were in a different planet because it goes Manhattan, Brooklyn, and then the other planet.
And then we had to go all the way back. And the time that we reached our home, it was like 11.
Yeah, I had an experience like that my very first time to go to Japan. I got on a train, and it was in Tokyo called the Hibiya line, and I fell asleep on the train. And the next thing I knew, somebody said, "Hey, wake up!" And I'm and I was at the end of the line, And I had to go like 20 minutes back to where I had to go. Oh well. All right, anyway, back to New York.
Okay, so next, the thing that I find funny is the Staten Island ferry. We just want to take the ferry to see the Statue of Liberty, right?
Right.
So there's not much of a point staying in the island, I guess?
Yeah, I think there might be some restaurants or something like that near the ferry, but that's about it.
Yeah. And so the thing is, you're going to have to wait for 15 minutes for the next ferry to come.
To go back to Manhattan.
Actually, so this is the dock, right?
Right.
Here, it's the dock.
Yeah.
The ferry comes in.
Right.
The gate opens, and then 30 seconds after the gates open, the gate opens. It's like the other ferry that goes back goes.
Right.
So what I want to point out here is that you're gonna have to race to the other ferry at exact 30 seconds.
Right, if you want to catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like every adult there was like running like a bunch of gardeners.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You guys too?
We did.
Nice.
Yeah, we were all being a great big bunch, a gigantic bunch of kindergarteners.
Nice.
And they're running.
So, how was the view of the Statue of Liberty from the Staten Island ferry?
Oh, it was very, very nice. I mean, we weren't able to just land on the Liberty Island.
Right, but you go back.
It was still very, very nice.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh, I guess that's all the time we have for today's podcast, Michael.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, hey, thanks for chatting, Naho.
Oh, and thanks to you, Michael, for chatting with me today.
And thanks to all the viewers.
Thanks to all the viewers. Yeah, you can't forget about that. And so, once again,
I'm Michael.
And I'm Naho.
And this is
English at Home
is
fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.